Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the FV4005 Stage 2. It's a Tier 10 British turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the northwest spawn of Pearl River, and this one is under the command of Baines Maj. Okay, so we've got Chuck Norris in command. This vehicle is otherwise known as a different name, which I won't repeat because obviously it's rude, but it is actually known by What Arty Noobs and by me as the Heshbon, and that's because the original vehicle was designed only to fire Hesh, nothing else. The AP and the HE rounds that are actually supplied with this vehicle are complete fiction. They never had them. It was only high explosive squash head that this thing was designed to fire. And the reason for its being built in the 1950s based on the Centurion Mark III hull is because they weren't certain they could actually destroy the IS-3 and the other Soviet heavy tanks at distance. So they came up with this thing with a 7.2 inch gun, which is actually 183 millimeters, and two different designs of turret. One, an open turret, that's the stage 1 version, and then the stage 2 version with this covering, which is stage, well, it's the final version that they came up with. But it's paper thin, the turret, really paper thin, 14 millimeters all around, so it's only designed to stop machine gun bullets and shell splinters, not to stop any shell. And that's why this thing is so dangerous, or rather so vulnerable, if it gets hit by an Arty round, because more than likely it'll pen, but it can unleash a huge amount of damage. 1150 is the alpha with armor piercing, but as I said, that is a fictional round. What it is capable of doing is 1750 with the Hesh rounds, 230mm pen, as opposed to the 310mm pen with the AP. So you can do enormous damage with this thing. Okay. The thing about it is that it's also very, very accurate, and so it can be very dangerous to the enemy. Okay. So we chug along on this steampunk version, and we've got an enemy target, T-44. Now he could get wiped out with one shot. What is a problem with this thing, of course, is the aiming. It's not the actual, once the thing's dialed in on target, it's very accurate. And that's how it does it. 343 hit points. T-44 is back in the garage. It's got the highest AP pen, a powerful Hesh round, HE rounds very good as well, good gun depression of 10 degrees. The bad things are the poor armor, as I mentioned. The low speed, it can only do 32 kilometers an hour maximum speed. It's got a slow turret traverse, a very slow turret traverse, and it's only 27.12 degrees per second. Well, that's the tank traverse as such, but it's very poor. And of course, it does have a long reload. Standard reload, 28.76 seconds. We can see here the Baines Maj has got it down to 23.94. Now, it's a much-loved tank destroyer by many, many players, especially Steve Walsh, who takes great delight in doing this to enemy vehicles. 950 hit points of damage. He just wiped out the SMB CC-67. 2 shots, 2 kills, and he's pulling back just for the moment. It really is quite an amazing vehicle. There's one still alive, or rather there is one at it's the gate guard at Bovingdon Tank Museum. Oh, first one where he misses, but he actually hit the tracks of the Batchat 25T AP. Didn't get a pen. Yes, it's the gate guard at Bovingdon, and it's in a pretty poor, dilapidated state. They really should take it in, restore it, and put it into pride of position inside the museum, because although it's a tank that never got put into production, it would have been absolutely phenomenal if it had, because you think of this thing doing that sort of damage at long range. it had to pen 115 millimeters at 60 degrees at long range on the IS-3, and effectively that's very, very thick armor indeed. Now, the open turret version was actually with a mechanized loader, so they didn't actually have any turret crew as such, but they had to have a gunner and a commander. But the mechanized loader would actually do all the heavy lifting, because this is a very big shell indeed. Okay, he's moving because there are enemies in the cap area. Who's going to be the next victim? There's a Jagdtiger only a short distance away. Hello, Mr. Jagdtiger, say goodbye. And he's out the game. 1,473 hit points. We can see there are 2 enemies in the cap. A Conway is in the cap at the moment. So, no, it's only the Conway in the cap. He did receive a round from the Jagdtiger as well, but the Jagdtiger, well, he got the worst of it. Okay, we're almost reloaded. We just need to see where the Conway is. The concept is coming in to try and keep us spotted if we do pull forward. But the concept himself is in a bit of danger. Okay, he's going to go round the road and probably come at us from a different direction. We need somebody to get him, and yep, he's pinging the map saying, give me sight of the target so I can actually get a shot and get a reset. Come on, guys, pull your finger out. There's the Conway. Okay, now we need to kill this target and kill him fast. Let it dial in. And he's out the game. 882. That's a very good kill. I think the guy moved out to the cap before the kill shot went in, so I don't think there's a defender medal out of that one. But I think he's just saved the game, because of course he got the reset, or forced the reset. Yes, it's like the IS-7. It's one of those tanks that could have been, but wasn't, and should have been. The IS-7 was a very, very good tank, and therefore it should have been put into production, but the Soviets weren't willing to do that because they already had a number of heavy tanks like the T-10, like the IS-3, and they didn't feel the need to actually build any more. Can we get a shot? Yes, he's out as well. That's the 5th kill. Kampfpanzer III is now back in the way to the garage. Now, if he gets one more, he's going to get a Top Gun. There are only 4 enemy tanks left. None of them are heavy tanks. As far as we know, some of them are fairly low on hit points as well. Yes, because the M41 is a light tank and he's fairly low. The Barask is fairly low. Now, as far as we know as well, they're on the other side of the village. So we probably won't have a shot from this direction. Yes, I think it's actually the wrong decision to hang around this corner. I think he needs to turn around and head back. He's looking at the minimap saying there must be a medium tank somewhere over in this direction. If there is, it's the Saladin. Or Saladin, I should say. Yes, I remember my Kingdom of Heaven where they said Saladin is the actual name of the guy. People have said different pronunciations of the word. The famous general of the Moors, or the Muslims, who managed to defeat the Crusaders on numerous occasions. Okay, that area has actually been changed there. It's been narrowed. Now, the problem with the Saladin is that it is actually a wheeled vehicle, so yeah, might be trouble trying to get that guy if he's close to us, because he'll be able to drive around fairly quickly. Well, the Batchat 25 TAP is the last enemy tank around, and we've been asked to platoon with the IS-3 on our team. He's only got 1 kill. As far as we know, the Batchat 25 TAP was last seen on the west side of the map. but nobody's seen any tanks over this side of the map for a little while, so it's a possibility that he's... Oh, no, he is over the other side. Definitely, he's just been spotted. So, who's going to do what? Now, the enemy Batchat looks like he's leading them on a merry way all around the map. He's just gone low. And, oh no, what's he doing now? He's actually running away from the TNH. And because all the tanks that he's up against are slow compared to him, he's actually quite a nippy little medium tank. And there he is in the distance. Now, can we get a shot at long range? It would be a very long range shot. We need him to stay still long enough for us to get a hit. Oh my gum, he got the shot! That was amazing! What a hit! 1,153 hit points, wins the game, and a Top Gun. Well, that was an epic end to that game by Bainsamaj in the FV4005 Stage 2. He got a first-class tanker out of that one, as well as the duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. Fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. He also managed to get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and probably in the shortest time as well as a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, the last one being the 6th kill in that sequence. And his win rate from the game, 6,496, Super Unicum, and a lot more. Very, very well done by Bainsamaj. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage was 5,166 hit points. Second highest damage was the Leopard Prototype A. He picked up a Leather Slaves medal and 3,885, and that's for killing 2 tanks or tank destroyers in a game which were 1 tier higher than his own. And the third highest damage in this game actually belongs to the Saladin, who managed 2,852 hit points of damage on the enemy team. The only other guys who got medals were the TNH Viz 51 on our team, who got a steel wall, and the Senlak, who got a defender. So he was the guy who actually did get the reset on the Conway just before our shell completely annihilated him. When it came to kills, yep, Bainsamaj gets that one. 6 kills to him. 4 kills went to the Leopard Prototype. 3 kills went to the Batchat 25 TAP. And when it came to base XP, it's the Leopard Prototype who comes out on top on that one. 1,148 base experience points to him. 1,040 went to the IS-3. And we can see that, yes, Bainsamaj picked up 910 in third place. So only 2 players managed to get over 1,000, but Bain was the next one in lineup. So he got 2 out of 3 in that column. He got the highest damage, highest number of kills. Let's have a look at detail. He only fired 7 rounds. Every round hit the target. Only 6 of them penetrated, funnily enough. He got 5,166 hit points of damage, of which 2,378 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy, both penetrated. Yeah, I did say the armor's fairly thin. It's a Centurion hull with a very thin turret on top. And yes, both rounds were bound to penetrate. Let's have a quick look to see which ones he didn't pen in this game, in this sequence. I have a feeling it might be the T-44. No, it isn't. It wasn't. And we now find out all of these were penned. And there's 6 pens. So one of the rounds he did was a follow-up shot to finish off the enemy. And I'm wondering which one. Oh, was it the Jagdtiger? I think it may. No, the Jagdtiger, he did get a kill. Straight off the money. The Conway must have been, surely. He's only fired 7 shots, but he got pens on all of them. Oh, well, we'll have to work that one out later, because he did get 7 direct hits, but only 6 pens. So somebody actually got wiped out by a shot that didn't pen. Anyway, going back into the details, he damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 6 of the enemy, and he got 5 defense points in the process. Oh, now I can remember it. Yes, I know exactly what's actually happened now. I do remember it was the Batchat 25 TAP. He fired a shot at this guy and he caught the front of the tracks. It never went through the front of the vehicle. That was the only shot. It hit the target, but it just went through the tracks and didn't go through the hull, so he didn't contact the hitbox. So he did actually hit that guy twice, but the second shot, the last shot of the game, was the one that penned him and took him out of the game. So remembered exactly what it was. Okay, he actually suffered a loss in that game of 848 credits rather from the game, but that's mostly down to consumables because he actually had 40,000 consumables in that game, and the HESH rounds are expensive. They did, but he did actually fire armor piercing on a couple of occasions, so it wasn't the armor piercing that was expensive in this particular case. It's definitely the consumables. He ended up with 32 bonds because he got 7 for it being a tier 10 and 25 for it being an achievement, a mission achievement, and 2,730 experience points as well. A very good achievement in the FV4005, but it's not the only FV4005 game that we've got for you today, because we've got another one. And would you believe it? They both came in, both replays came in on the same day. And I looked at them saying, hang on a sec, I've got 2 Heshbarn games on the same day. Yes, got to put those into the same video because obviously we like a bit of barn every now and then. So let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is on the Safe Haven map on the West Spawn, and it's under the command of JerryKiller of TRON. Well, as you can see, there's another Heshbarn in this game, and he's headed off in a different direction. Now, I didn't mention in the previous battle that one of the drawbacks of the Heshbarn is the turret won't turn the whole way round. You can't turn it more than 90 degrees either side, so you can't look behind you and try and shoot at your rear because it just won't go. Another thing is it's a very tall vehicle, very tall indeed, and that means it has poor camo. As you can see in this particular format, it does look very, very obvious. So it's not going to be hiding in the bushes. It's going to be very obvious to the enemy. But with that sort of gun and that sort of damage that it can do, it can obviously kill enemy tanks very, very, very quickly. First shot fires, gets 881 hit points. Now you notice that he's actually decided to use HESH mostly in this game. He's switched the slots because the HESH is premium rounds, and he's put them in his first slot and moved the armor piercing to the second slot. He's only carrying 4 rounds of armor piercing. Now it does have high penetration, but as I said, it doesn't do as much damage as the HESH does. HESH really is the killer in this game. Now, what can he do? Well, it looks like he's up against an E3. And the E3 suffers 1,157 perfect shots in the lower plate. Yeah, the E3's not a happy bunny. Our T95's probably fairly happy as well, though, because he saw that guy, his opponent, suffer some significant damage. I guess he probably doesn't even worry about the fact that he did actually act as our mobile armor there. But, oh, now that was unfortunate. The M60 didn't get hit. The shell exploded on the obstruction. So the M60 got away with it. But he probably won't get away with it for long because he is a one-shot at 202 hit points. Now, it's always advisable for the T95 to go first because he's got monster armor. Now, is the Sheridan trying to get around us? No, because he's outside. He's not inside. He's in that little alcove. So, and the T95 just got hit in the tracks. And he's pulled back to change his direction. We're covering him. Now, what can we do? Well, there's enemy over there. Sheridan comes through, finds them. Yes, not a good idea. 1,600 hit points. Sheridan's no more. Very bad decision by Sheridan. He should have known that the T95 had a guardian with him, a bodyguard, and the bodyguard just smacked the Sheridan right in the face with a HESH round, and that's the end of his game. Okay, we've got a BZ-58-2 over there. There's also a Jaegeru, and this thing does finish Jaegerus fairly efficiently as well. We can't see the Jaegeru because he's right the other side of that rock, that big huge rock. Very close to the Kunstpanzer on our team, who's full health at the moment, but he won't be for long if the Jaegeru gets at him. Well, our T-95 decided to go down the tunnel, and at the moment it's actually quite good that we're sitting here because we can get shots in more than one different direction. But yes, we have decided to go with our partner on this occasion. We are actually in platoon with a Rheinmetall Panzerwagen somewhere, but he's already been killed. Have we got a target over here? We might be able to get a shot at that BZ-58-2. He's coming down that road. Got a shot. Not yet. One of the things you do have to worry about if you're in a Heshbon, that you get tunnel vision. You're dialed in on a shot at somebody else a long way away, and all of a sudden somebody comes into sight, and oh, this could be fun. Well, 1,897, that's a high roll. Yeah, the BZ-58-2 is now regretting his life choices and said, oh well, I shouldn't have gone that way. But then we've got that long reload, and I'm afraid around the corner, the T-95 is not having a good time of it, because there's another Heshbon around the corner, and he's kind of trapped in the corner. There's a Malchen around there, but the Heshbon could be wiped out with one round, and we don't want him to do the same to us. We can't see what they're doing. Oh, now we can. Okay, who's next? Heshbon? Heshbon. Oh, Heshbon went into cover as quickly as he could. Not going to help him. And he's out the game. 931, second killer for JerryKiller. The Malchen took a hit, but our T-95 is no more. The M103 got a hit. I think the T-95 on the enemy team is a long distance. Now we're moving up, and that was the end of the Malchen. So we've got no targets directly in front of us now because the M103 got him, and the Doom Turtle on the enemy team is way in this direction, and our E4's just found them. In fact, it's more than the T-95. It's two T-95s, or is that a dead one there? I think they're both alive. They won't be for long. Okay, now let's see who's next. It'd be nice if we could get a kill. Hello, it's us. Well, we do take a hit, and oh, it didn't go through. So it looks like the M103 is going to get another kill, and he does. And well, since we've got a full load of health, and we took that one in the tracks, and the T-95 goes down, and that's the end of the game, and it's a victory for JerryKiller. Well, JerryKiller didn't hit many of the enemy, but he did get enough damage to get a first-class mastery out of that game, the same as Bane's Maj. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and he got a high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game. His win rate from this game, 5,948. So like Bane's Maj, he did a super unicorn performance and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in this game, 6,466 hit points. The next highest scorer being the E100, who managed 4,593, followed by the T-95 on our team, who did 2,503 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the M103 did the best. He got 3 kills out of that game, whereas JerryKiller got 2 kills, and so did the STB1. And when it came to base XP, yep, JerryKiller got that one too. 962 to him, 912 went to the Emil 2, and 897 went to the T-95. So he got 2 out of 3. On this occasion, he got the highest damage and the highest base XP, and came second on the number of kills. He fired only 7 shots, got 6 direct hits, but only 4 penetrations, 1 splash. Damage of 6,466 hit points, of which 2,778 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see in this game a lot more at short range. 2 hits received, both were non-penetrations. They both hit the tracks, would you believe it? They actually failed to aim for that huge turret. And you notice how JerryKiller was very precise to aim for the turret because he knew that that turret was very thin and he would get a kill shot out of it. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, and he managed to get a loss of only 14,606 credits on a premium account. Yes, I'm afraid it's that consumables thing again. You do need to buy the consumables whilst they're cheap, whilst they're half price. And that way, when it comes to the actual battle, then they don't record on the figure, and it makes it your figures, your stats look much, much better because, of course, you're only paying half the price that you would otherwise be paying. You got 7 bombs out of it for being tier 10. And 1,443 experience points. Whichever way you look at it, they're really good games because you just see a massive vehicle wiping the hell out of the enemy tanks. I suppose Bane's game was fun because he was getting a lot of long-range shots. You can see in his details, he did a fair amount of long-range shooting in this one. But, and of course, getting that Top Gun out of the last kill of the game. And it was a leading shot because that Batchat 25T AP was moving about a bit at the other end, but he still managed to nail him. But with Bane, it was a really good fun game because, of course, he was shooting over the top of the T95, who was acting as his mobile armor. And, of course, we shouldn't forget that one shot that absolutely annihilated the Sheridan, who came around the corner thinking, aha, the T95 has fired, and then saw the Heshbon right in front of him and thought, oh, crap, I've lost. He just died. He evaporated with one shot. So very well done to JerryKiller and to Bane Samaj. Thanks for sending in these replays on the same day so we can put them in the same video because we all like a bit of barning every now and then. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.